CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. We begin tonight in Shawnigan Lake with a fight over contaminated soil. The government is proposing a plan that would see truckloads of toxic soil from Victoria dumped smack dab in the middle of Shawnigan's watershed. Now, the process is legal, but the community says it's not right, and it's not happening in its backyard. The sun may be shining in Shawnigan Lake, but people here fear there is a dark cloud coming.
Water's very important. I own a daycare. I have a 3-year-old. I don't want my water to be contaminated, and the fact that it could even possibly be contaminated, it just worries me very much.
Their fear is echoed by many in the community. Shawnigan Lake supporters furious over a plan to dump contaminated soil into this quarry.
People have been coming up here since 1905, drinking the water, swimming, and we still do. So it's really disrespectful.
The Environment Ministry has issued a draft permit to a Vancouver Island company. If approved, South Island Aggregates Limited will have the green light to dump 100,000 tons of contaminated soil into this site every year for the next 50 years.
In essence, it's like putting all that toxic material in a plastic bag at the top of your watershed.
Toxic material, he says, contaminated with chlorine and sodium. Hardly comforting news for the more than 7,000 people who expect clean water.
The watershed is very, very important. You know, we drink it, we swim in it, we shower in it.
No! One more time!
No! Similar concerns were presented Monday when the community made its first public appeal. Since then, the Cowichan Valley Regional District has stepped in, sending a letter to the provincial health officer.
And I think one of the key things this week actually is the letter that's gone to the public health officer and really pointing out that this is a public health risk and that the government really needs to pay attention to that.
It's unclear where the contaminated soil will come from, but the Ministry of Environment has reassured the public that it will be tested before being shipped for disposal or treatment. The province has also extended the period for public comment from 2 to 3 weeks. With less than 2 weeks left, there are plenty of comments and questions.
And who will pay the premiums? Who will pay the insurance to protect us if that ever went through?
On Tuesday, opponents are heading to Victoria.
It's those who show up will make a difference. Thank you very much.
To make sure the province hears their concerns in person before it's too late. Now to curling. The anticipation is over. Finally, Victoria and curling fans around the world can say game on after months of preparation. The rocks are ready, the ice pebbled, and 12 of the best curling teams in the world are ready to hurry hard in the capital city. CTV's Jordan Cunningham was at the rink well before the first stone of the Men's World Curling Championship and has our opening day coverage.
So who are you cheering for?
Go, Canada, go! Go, Canada, go!
This Canadian foursome didn't have to win the Brier to get here. Canada's boisterous backers have arrived, and they're happy to be out from under the white, wet blanket of Stonewall, Manitoba.
We have about 6 feet of snow, no daffodils.
And their motto is simple.
Have fun. The crazier you are, the more fun you can have.
These are the fans that make the curling world go round, and they come from all parts.
We travel from Northern Grand Prairie.
Manitoba, back to Body, Manitoba.
We're from Cooper, near St Andrews in Fife.
The pipes signified the start of the Ford Men's World Curling Championships. Teams were trotted out and introduced. The ceremonial first rock was thrown right to the button. It's a good omen for tournament co-chair Keith Dagg.
We know what to do. We know what to expect. The volunteers in this town are wonderful. The same volunteers we had in 2005 are here again. It's going to be a great event, and I hope all the fans get out here and support it.
If sales of swag are any indication, the support is there. But one item you can't buy?
Is it true you guys sell Norway pants?
No. You have to ask Robin about that. We didn't sew any this week.
Yes, curling has become a bit of a fashion show thanks to Norway and their crowd-pleasing pants. And as the week goes on, the outfits get better.
You might see a curling rock on my head. You might see a flag that goes back and forth. We'll surprise you come Thursday.
And this might be the only time the hat comes off. Jordan Cunningham, CTV News, Victoria.
And if you're wondering, Canada ended up defeating China today 7-6 in their opening match. Tomorrow the competition continues with a 9 a.m. match against Finland, and then the nightcap features a rematch of the 2005 Worlds as Brad Jacobs and Team Canada take on David Murdoch's Scotland rink. The tournament draw continues with matches until Thursday. Playoffs begin next week, and all of Team Canada's games can be watched on TSN. Operators of a stable in Duncan say they have never seen anything like it. 6 horses, lost and confused, turned up at Foxstone Stables this morning, and no one knows where they came from. Around 7 this morning, the 6 mares wandered onto the property like they knew where they were going. Operators at the Foxstone Stables say they rounded them up and took the horses to a nearby field. They say 3 of the mares are Canadian. The horses are extremely playful and, as we found out, love the taste of microphone.
They seem like they have good people taking care of them, that they're friendly and well treated anyways.
Harris says the horses may have wandered off from a nearby stable, perhaps escaping with the owners on Easter holidays. For now, the horses will stay at Foxstone Stables.
Well, I guess we'll just take care of them and keep them here, keep them happy, and as you can see, they're pretty friendly, so hope their owners show up and take care of them till they do.
If you have any information on where the horses could have come from or who owns the animals, please call Foxstone Stables. The number is 250-748-8577. Vancouver Island Health Authority expects a norovirus outbreak at a facility at Victoria General Hospital will be cleared by tonight. VIHA says the outbreak began last Sunday in an acute care facility. 3 patients began showing signs of norovirus, a gastrointestinal illness. VIHA says patients and residents are always screened and cleaning practices are enhanced during any outbreak. The 3 infected patients are no longer showing any signs of the illness, and VIHA expects the facility should be back to normal procedure by the end of today. Island drivers got their first long weekend warning yesterday that this is one of the deadliest weekends on BC roads. The long weekend got off to a rough start for this traveler. Traffic was tied up for kilometers on Highway 19 just north of the Horn Lake turnoff after an SUV flipped over late yesterday afternoon, taking the large RV with it. The driver was heading northbound when they lost control and the trailer jackknifed. It flipped onto its side and the truck ended up resting on the median, but not before it took out some of the concrete barriers. No one was seriously injured in the crash, but traffic was down to one single lane in both directions for a few hours while crews cleaned up the scene, removed the truck and trailer, and replaced the center median. Well, it wouldn't be Easter weekend without the eggs. Hundreds of thousands of them hidden all over Vancouver Island. This morning, for the 14th year in a row, the hunt for chocolate kicked off at Beaver Lake Park. Leading the charge, Alex Strain, son of CTV cameraman Brendan Strain. Hundreds of kids showed up for the Neil Estate team's annual Easter egg hunt for the BC Children's Hospital Foundation. Last year, more than 500 children searched for more than 10,000 chocolate eggs. Neil says he never imagined a small egg hunt would evolve into a major fundraising effort for sick kids on the island.
It started as a small event with just a handful of friends and family and some clients, and it's grown over the years to now, as you see, we get hundreds of kids out and just trying to participate and give back to the community and keep the awareness out there for BC Children's Hospital, which as not everybody realizes that we support and have over 2,000 kids every year from the island visit BC Children's in Vancouver. So we're trying to help our sickest kids get better.
The annual event has raised tens of thousands of dollars for BC Children's Hospital. Along with the eggs, there was also some face painting and good food. And yes, the Easter Bunny did make an appearance. Welcome back. The anticipation for the remake of Godzilla is building tonight, and it's not just here on Vancouver Island. For weeks, monster-sized movie sets have popped up on the Mid-Island as movie makers try to recreate the 1950s classic. And now, to the delight of Godzilla fans, it appears the film will have a familiar face. The news is spreading online that Akira Takarado, who was in the 1954 original Godzilla, will be in the remake in some capacity. Legendary Pictures tweeted this photo this week of the director Gareth Edwards and the former Godzilla star. Now, last week, 7th Street and Douglas Avenue in South Nanaimo was transformed into the backdrop for an action scene. A 300-person crew was on a blitz of Vancouver Island shooting for the movie. Scenes were also expected to be shot in Ladysmith and Shawnigan Lake. According to reports online, the movie is scheduled to be released in May of next year. Well, this is the last weekend for the harmonized sales tax in the province. The controversial HST is out Monday, being replaced with the return of the provincial sales tax. Dining out at a restaurant and getting a haircut are just some of the services that will be cheaper when BC returns to the GST-PST system. Alcohol will go back to the pre-HST system, which will mean a slight increase at the till. The tax came into effect back in 2010, but was quickly sent packing after a campaign by the Fight HST group with Bill Vanderzam at the helm. Vanderzam is scheduled to be in Victoria for tomorrow for an HST send-off party on the lawn of the BC Legislature. That starts at 1 o'clock. For more information on the change, you can go to Canada's Revenue Agency website. That's at www.cra.gc.ca.